I'm Norma Jean Shaw with the Royal Examiner, and we have a candidate for the Sheriff of Warren County 2019 in today. Mark Butler, welcome to you.
Welcome.
You are stopping by because you have a big announcement to make today.
I do. After 12 months of exploring running for sheriff and then deciding that we were, I've decided that I'm going to run independent. Though I am a conservative and Republican, I really, after exploring everything and talking to everybody in the county, I believe it's in the best interest for the sheriff to be independent and open to the entire county. I've noticed that over the past few years and noticed how both parties and have really led law enforcement in areas and certain ways that probably have put a stain on law enforcement, and are one of the greatest law enforcement agencies in the country, the FBI, let's be honest, has been tainted because of that, the two-party system and being influenced by politics. I really don't believe law enforcement should be led by one ideology or one small group's ideology. It really has to be the voice of the people. And the sheriff itself is a very simple job: enforce the laws and protect the Constitution. And if you're part of a certain group of ideology, somebody's going to get left out. And I don't feel our county, as good as our county is, deserves that.
So you are for the people, and you are out to take care of the rights of the people. As far as you're concerned, you want to protect the people and to get those who break the laws behind bars.
Yeah, I really do. And I believe that, I just really believe that the sheriff has to be for everyone. Mm-hmm. And if you're not keeping your mind and eyes open for everyone, then someone's slipping through, and someone's not getting the service that they deserve, okay, both good and bad.
Now, there are, let's see, close to 125, I think 123, according to my notes, sheriffs in the state of Virginia. And there are quite a few of those who are independent as well. So you would not be the first person to do this. I believe there are 32 currently who are independent in the state.
There's quite a few. And over the past year, I've talked to many sheriffs, both Democrat, Republican, and independent. And I wanted their opinion, and luckily I have a good resource teaching all over that I can reach out to those individuals. And we really found that the ideologies of independent, Republican, or whatever, basically on the person. The independent sheriffs that I've spoke to, we seem to have the same mindset, I think, and we have several that surround Warren County as it is. Mm-hmm. And I think we already have a decent rapport that we can move forward once elected. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Speaking of rapport, you have about 30 years of experience.
Correct, with military.
With military, and then you currently are a police officer in Fairfax County for Herndon, in fact.
Correct.
And you also instruct around the country in different matters of, you teach all kinds of interesting classes to police officers at all levels?
We do. We teach anywhere from human trafficking, undercover operations, to crisis management. I'm very proud of that, and it's been very good for me, because once you teach, you really have to research, and you really have to have your dot all your I's and cross all your T's. So teaching all over the country has been very good for me, and it really has helped me develop into a stronger police officer, I believe.
And I'm guessing that those kinds of skills would translate into the administration of a department.
I think it has to. Running a business that travels all over the country and talking with so many different sheriffs, so many different police chiefs. Just if you look at our committee alone, we have 4 police chiefs that are working with our committee. 4 honorable, respected police chiefs. And that's just humbling in itself for me. We have really developed a great campaign committee, and believe me, they keep me sound and feet on the ground, and they challenge me at every aspect of not just the process for running for sheriff, but my ideology and where I want to go forward. And it's really, I really think that's why we came up with the slogan, "We can make the difference," because it's not just me, it's the entire community getting together to create just the best sheriff's office we can be.
Okay. I know you've been out. You were asked by several people to consider running about a year ago. So in that time, you've been knocking on doors. You've been talking to people at the flea market. You had Ryan Jewell come and do a concert for
Ryan's
you.
a great kid.
And one thing that really heartens me is I've been hearing that you've been visiting nursing homes because, the elderly people still matter. There are crimes that are committed against the elderly, and that's something that's dear to your heart, looking out for the elderly citizens.
Well, we haven't really gone to the elderly homes, but we go to the senior center.
Well, that's what I meant. I'm
Correct.
sorry.
And it's, Robbie Steele dragged me in there. And he didn't drag me in there, but he brought me there, and I got to speak to him and meet him, and it's just that was our foundation. And there's so many veterans in there, and it was really nice, and I've actually developed a great bond and friendship with them. And they even make me play music, so it's fun.
And you hate that, I
I
can
know.
tell.
I hate playing music.
Now, speaking of that, you will be having an event coming up pretty soon that involves music and some seniors. Let's talk about that.
December 13th. Well, we got done Halloween. I went there and I handed out some whistles and stuff, and I told them I was going to try to get Danny Figgins to come and play for him. And then I thought about it more, and I got a hold of Ryan, got a hold of Danny, got a hold of Brittany Fouché, and I asked if they'd be willing to come with me and put on a show for the seniors for the holiday on December 13th. And it's from 10 to 2, and so we're having we're gonna have pizza and stuff like that, and just celebrate the holidays with the seniors on that day, and hopefully give them a good show and give them something to come out and have fun with. And that's open to anybody, any seniors that want to come.
So that's just one of the ways that Mark Butler, the candidate, is wearing his heart on his sleeve a little bit. But you truly do intend to be a candidate for everyone. You are the people's candidate, and you hope to be the people's sheriff.
Norma Jean, this past year has been phenomenal. It has really been a fun, humbling time for me, and we really just have had a really blessed, good time meeting everybody and giving back. And so that's what we're really trying to do. We're trying to give back as much as we can, because it is a platform that we can do that. The holiday thing is not really a Butler for Sheriff December 13th. It is more of a just celebrating giving the seniors a holiday party, and it's really turned out pretty good. When I told Ryan Jewell, he was no doubt, brother, I'll be there. So thanks, Brian, because those seniors, as you saw, if anybody saw the Christmas parade. They all came out and were on the back of my float and really supporting us, and it's been really good to see the support that we're getting.
So it's nice to see that that you are doing things just because you're a good guy, and that is not a thing that's for it's not an event for your candidacy. That's just something that you and Robbie Seal, who loves to play music and loves to visit, I know he's been involved with events through his job in the past with senior citizens. So I
Right.
know that that's very dear to his heart.
It is.
And he's gotten you involved in that. So that's awesome. That's not a campaign thing. That's just we love to entertain folks, and we have an affinity for the elderly citizens. So
Well, we
that's
have,
awesome.
yeah, we really just have to come together as a community.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the more that we can give back, it's not about monetarily, it's about just giving back what you can. And, that's pretty much how we're running our entire campaign. Is running just off of knocking on doors and saying, hey, this is who we are.
Do you feel that in these modern times, perhaps, that a sense of community has been lost somewhat?
I do. I think we have that in our whole entire country. But, the more you speak, my sister's extremely Democrat. And I love her to death, and she's one of the smartest people I've ever met. We just don't always see eye to eye on certain things. But, there's still a common ground. And I think that's really why when I decided to go independent, it really, really put a smile on my face, because I was able to not stray away from my moral and ethical beliefs. So I just really, I really think we can move forward with it and develop a strong foundation.
I'm guessing that it kind of cleared things up because politics are pushed aside, and in the middle you have your citizens and you have the law.
Correct.
And you intend to be a working sheriff. You intend to have a cruiser that's like everybody else's. You intend to be out stopping speeders and participating in the day-to-day operation rather than being a figurehead, so to speak.
I believe the sheriff, you have to, if you look at the principles and characteristics of leadership, you have to walk the walk, that same walk that you talk. And I believe if you look at the greatest leaders in history, from Chesty Puller from the Marine Corps on down to Colin Powell, Norman Schwarzkopf, these are guys out front. These are guys that walk the walk. And I believe you have to see that. And I believe you have to be that person.
Well, that is very refreshing to hear, and congratulations to you for making the decision to be
Thank
an independent candidate. We look forward to hearing more from you, and you heard it here first on the Royal Examiner. Mark Butler has announced that he is an independent candidate as he moves forward in his campaign for the 2019 sheriff's race. I'm Norma Jean Shaw for the Royal Examiner.